This is day one of me starting my AI automation agency. So I wanted to share with you guys the plan.
Currently feeling lost as hell.
The past 2 weeks, they've been hell.
I just need a sign that I'm going down the right path.
Just gotta keep going. Just gotta fucking keep at it.
I started this agency exactly 10 months ago on February 9th of 2025, and since then I haven't made a single dollar. But that all changed just a few days ago whenever I landed my first paid client. So today I'm going to be sharing with you guys what that 10-month journey looked like, everything I learned and earned on that journey, kind of where I'm at today as far as the agency, the client that I landed, how I got them results, and then what the next 6 months look like as far as me scaling this to $20,000, $30,000 a month. I think there's going to be a lot of value in this video, especially for people who haven't started yet, kind of what to do and what not to do. But overall, stay tuned. I think you guys will enjoy it. Let's get straight into it. And like I said, this has been a 10-month journey, but I learned the most, I saw the most progress, and I saw the most results in the past 2 months. I'm going to share with you guys the whole 10 months, so hopefully you guys can just skip the bad part and go straight to the 2 months if you guys, can learn from my mistakes or whatever it may be, and just get there faster. So first, kind of where this whole agency started, and it actually started in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I was living in a shared apartment with my buddy Alex. The whole reason I had moved to Florida, I'm in California now. The whole reason I had moved from California to Florida was because of a sales job. And I'm there for like 9-10 months, and I quickly realized, I'm like, you know what? This is not what I want to do. This is not what I thought it was. It's not something that I enjoy. And I personally would kill myself if I did this for another 5 years, 10 years, let alone, 20 years, the rest of my life. And so I ended up quitting. So I'm very emotional. I'm very confused. I'm like, what do I want to do? Where do I want to do it? Where do I want to go? Like, what am I even solving for here? That's kind of where it led me to starting an agency, because I wanted the autonomy. I wanted the time freedom. I wanted the money freedom. But I also wanted the freedom to choose who I want to serve, how I want to serve them, and what way I actually want to serve them, which is like, I think, the highest form of self-fulfillment, right? But also being able to help others. But it also led to me coming back home because, like I said, at the time, I was still very confused. Like, I had a feeling that's what it could be, but I didn't know for sure. I was just trying a bunch of different things. I was also talking about, being a financial advisor. I was going to start classes for that. I had called one of my friends, an old friend of mine who was a financial advisor. So long story short, that also led to me coming back home. So I get home like at mid-March, and I'm trying to figure out, okay, so the financial advisor, I'm gonna start doing courses for that. The agency, I'm still learning. I'm still watching some videos, right? And at this time, I'm really just watching videos. I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to get maybe a client who lets me, who is okay with being the hamster, right, or the guinea pig, I should say. And that's really what it is. And so fast forward, I end up getting one of my old clients for my sales job, who is okay with me doing some automation work for his accounting business. And to this day, I'm very thankful, because that's where I was able to get my reps, and that's where I was able to really learn and really see, like, what does an agency owner actually do? Like, what's the fulfillment look like? What does the delivery look like? What does the sales look like? And that's where I was able to it was like a training ground a little bit, right? Get warmed up a little bit, see what it would actually be like to own an agency, because he was like my only client. But that was like the next 2 to 3 months, maybe even like almost 4 months. I think it was like 2 or 3 months though. And then, we're already in summer, June, July, August. Now I'm like, okay, well, Chris, I haven't gotten him any results, but maybe I can start looking for other clients and see if I can get them results. So I start looking for other, accounting clients. I start looking for more. And at this point, I'm like, you know what? The financial advisor, I had talked to another one of my old clients who was very successful. And he said, bro, just take the untrodden path. Like, what's the worst that's going to happen? In 10 years, if you become a financial advisor, same thing as sales, you're going to hate it. That's not what you actually want to do. You want to make money, and you want to have your time freedom. So just take the untrodden path, take the risk, and it'll work out if you stick with it. And so that's what he told me. If you're watching this as well, I'm thankful for that, because that really got me over the ledge. And I'm like, okay, well, I need to figure something out. So at this point, I'm like, okay, agency, we're going to do something. We're going to figure something out. I don't know what it is yet. I don't know how or where or when, but I'm going to figure something out in the agency space where I'm working for myself. I'm helping businesses. I start doing research. I'm reading books, personal development, business books. I'm watching videos. I'm talking to some clients. I'm trying to get them some results. I'm trying to get my first client. And so that really gets me through the next like 4 months. And this is those 4 months were kind of blurred. It was like a bunch of different things, but leading up to September, even at the end of September, I was still very confused and very lost. And I wanted to quit on something that I hadn't even fully committed to, right? Like, I wanted to quit. I was literally, I remember having the conversation with my mom and sister in September. I was like, you know what? I'm going to stop. I'm going to put it on pause, and I'm going to travel the next 6 months. I'm going to go see the world, 7 wonders, 7 seas, this, that, the other. And when I come back, I'll have a good idea of what I want to do with my life. Or so I thought. or so I thought. And so I start planning. I can even pull out some PDFs. I started planning like, okay, where am I going to go? Where am I going to visit? And I still want to do that, obviously. I mean, who doesn't want to do that? So I also wanted to mention that somewhere along that path, around like August, September, I realized I'm going to be doing an agency. I might as well be doing it in a space where I'm familiar with, in a space that I actually kind of want to work with, that I actually enjoy a little bit. But I was just kind of going against the grain is what I'm saying. I was kind of going against the grain. I already had experience in the fitness industry. I liked the fitness industry. I enjoyed it. I wanted to work with them. And it's a lot easier actually to get them results than it was for accountants. So that led to, like I said, end of September. That's where I was like, I'm going to travel. I'm like, you know what? What if, for 30 days, I just actually focused on the business. I focused on getting clients. I had one client who was interested. I locked her in, and I just focused on the business. What can I improve every single day without switching it every 2 days, without quitting every week? And what can happen? Like worst case scenario, I'm in the same situation, and then I can leave. That was my thought process. I don't know what's going to happen in 2 months. I don't know what's going to happen in 6 months. I only know what's going to happen in the next 30 days. So I put together like 30 days of what, wake up at this time, go to bed at this time, lunch at this time, we're going to work at this time, journal, read. And I did that. I really did. For like 30 days straight, I was waking up at the same time. Like I didn't drink, nothing. No alcohol, no really going out. And what it did was not necessarily like, oh, you're a different person at the end of it. Obviously, you feel good. You accomplished, 30 days of whatever you set out to accomplish. Like you feel good. But what it also teaches you is it's not so much in the future or the past. It's just like when you're in the moment, when you're actually doing, when you're working towards the goal, that is the goal. Like that's success, working towards the goal. But come the 30 days, I ended up getting some good results. I saw some progress. Some clients were happy. I actually made one of my clients money. Like I actually made them money. I was like, there's no way I just did that. It wasn't a lot, it wasn't a lot of money, but I saw the light. There's a flicker. I was like, no way. And just 28 days ago, I wanted to quit and travel for 6 months, and this wasn't for me. And like, I just made a client some money. So it really can be that. Obviously, preparation luck is when preparation meets opportunity. But I'm telling you guys this so you guys learn. The whole overarching theme here is the faster you commit, the faster you're going to see results. Where we're at today, as far as the agency, December 13th, when I'm filming this today, my best client is one where we did the reactivation and we did it during Thanksgiving. And in that, 2-week time period, a little bit before Thanksgiving, a little bit after, we were able to get him 6 new members, which is by far the best that I've done for any, client so far. And we were able to get him about $6,000, a little bit over $6,000 in total cash collected in about, 2 weeks. I was calling a lot of the lists. I was calling all the leads. Anybody who replied why, who was interested, I called them and I booked them. He gave me a setting script. He gave me a calendar, and that's all I need. That's all I need. I was calling them and booking them. And so that's what we did. Is it unscalable? Yeah. Is that gonna be the strategy that gets me to 30K a month? Heck no. Obviously, there's not enough time in the world to call everybody's list, right? But that's okay. I'm okay with unscalable as long as it's getting results. Because if it gets results, I can always make it scalable. And another thing I realized is you can do the same work. Because I was testing. I was in an area of testing. I was working with a yoga studio, a cycling studio, a boot camp studio, and then his is a programming and results type of gym. So it's a little bit more tailored, custom, meal plans, nutrition, accountability. Those 4 types of avatars or categories or sub-niches inside of fitness. And I did the same work for all of them. 2 of them got 0 results. 1 of them got minimal results. I think I mentioned to you guys I made him, some money, and that's where I really, inside the first 30 days, that's the one that I made him, a little bit of money, and I got excited. I saw the light. But him, same work, but I made him $6,000, almost double that in probably total ticket, almost $12,000, and 6 new members. So you guys want to be smart with who you choose to work with, because you're going to do the same amount of work. You might as well work with the person who's going to get the best results, not the person who's going to get the worst results, obviously. 1, because they're not going to like you. And then 2, you're not going to get paid as much. So it's like a lose-lose. So pick the person you're going to get the best results for. And you're only going to know this, obviously, using your brain a little bit, but also, testing and experimenting. That's really what this whole past 90 days has been for me, testing and experimenting. And now I'm getting closer to like, okay, this is the kind of gym I should be working with. They should have this many members. This should be their sales process, a setter and a closer. They should have, this line and top line revenue, this type of system, operations, an ops manager, 3 locations, 2, whatever it may be. This 1,000 square foot is, 2,000 is too small, 4,000. But you only learn that after you've been in it, you've been in the mud and in the shit for so long. So the plan now to scale it, obviously $20,000, $30,000 a month, is to get anywhere from 8 to 12 clients at $1,500 a month, And the client that I just said that I got the best results for, he decided to keep working with me. So $1,000 retainer every 4 weeks. That's the ongoing. We're going to be doing reactivation systems. The hard part is keeping them. Keeping clients is always a hard part in an agency. So how do you keep them? You have to keep providing value and keep things fresh and new. Just like any relationship. If you're the same and you're boring and you never switch anything, you never change anything, nobody's going to like you, right? So keep things fresh, keep things new, but also keep the value and the results there. And they're going to want to keep working with you. But that's kind of where we're at in the agency. Like I said, it's still just gathering case studies, trying to see who we work best with, get those case studies, and then from there, we scale it up. Right now, it's super unscalable. Outreach is not the prime focus. And it's always going to be the prime focus, but it's not like we're doing it like 8 hours a day. It's all, it's a sales and marketing machine. That's not what it is yet. The focus is case studies, honing down what we do, the offer, and keeping the clients. Keeping the clients is big. Especially for me, like I don't want to have to go get 10 clients and then a month later half of them quit and I only have 5 clients. I want them to stay, and I want to make it easy for them to stay to where like they need me. I want to integrate myself into their business so much that it's like, well, I need Esteban. I can't really fire. I don't even like him, but I can't get rid of him, right? Like obviously they're gonna like me, right? But you get what I'm saying, to where I'm that valuable to the business. That I feel like is where you can make you start printing money. You know what I mean? So that's the goal. That's next 6 months, that's how I plan on getting the 20 to 30K a month. Anywhere from 8 to 12 clients paying me $1,500 a month, plus 10% of revenue that I generate them. And that's all the base. Okay, so now that we know we get them results, we're getting them money, and they can't get rid of us, that's the bottom of the funnel filled up. Now we just start filling it up till we get to 8 to 12, and when they stick, and they don't go anywhere, and now we're boom, $20,000, $30,000 a month business. So that's the plan. Obviously, it's going to be a lot harder, a lot easier said than done. It's going to be a lot harder than I think it is. But I'm excited. I'm excited because now I know what I'm capable of, the results that we've gotten so far, and going to keep getting results. It's just a matter of time. I spoke a lot, but I hope you guys can see, what the past 10 months look like is, from me quitting the sales job, not knowing what I want to do, where I want to do it, switching between financial advisor and agency, and then moving back home, and then working with accountants and trying to get some results there, and then switching to gym owners, and then locking in, I'm not going to travel for 6 months. I'm going to do 30 days. And then at the end of 30 days, seeing a little modicum of results for a client, and then doubling down again next 30 days, and then seeing some big results, and then the next 30 days, and then finally, I'm at 2,000 now, which is nothing crazy. I've made 2,000 in the agency, which is nothing. I mean, definitely spent a lot more than that. So that's going to go straight to the Visa and the MasterCard, if you know what I mean. But we got some results. That's the big thing to take away. I'll share with you guys the case study right now. That way you guys can see it. And yeah, I appreciate you guys watching the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. So Ronson, if you don't mind just introducing yourself, your gym, and who you are.
I'm Ronson Moses. I own Moses Fitness. We do results and programming for people. First time we met with Esteban, I didn't really anticipate a single result.
And you had worked with an AI agency or vendor in the past, right? Where you did some AI automation stuff.
Yes, and it wasn't as successful as this.
What kind of numbers did you see when we did the reactivation?
The actual campaign was just 2 weeks long, and in those 2 weeks, it was $6K in front-end cash. It could be more than double that in total ticket, and that was using some of the worst leads. It didn't require us to do more work. There wasn't any extra drag on the business, and it was just more revenue for us. All in all, it was just wonderful, and case in point, I'm continuing to work with him.
I appreciate that.
And yeah, signing off for now.